20. It is game day. The Kings host the Raptors tonight in their preseason opener. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to dive into that, but I want to get to trade stuff just real quick.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a bunch of stuff on the Kings preseason opener tonight. So Sports Illustrated, Chris Mannix wrote a big offseason / preseason thing, and he mentions Lauri Markkanen.
Mm-hmm.
The name that was very popular in trade rumors last year, and then because of when he signed his extension, he couldn't be traded last year. But his name now back in the trade rumor mill again. Chris Mannix said, wrote, there's a belief that the Jazz are very open to trading Markkanen. This is one of those ones where I think logically everything lines up for why the Kings would want to go get Lauri Markkanen.
Mm-hmm.
They have the contracts to go get him. He is, I think, from a basketball perspective, a good fit. I think I'm out on giving up assets for a guy I'm not totally sure is going to be on the court for 65 games every year.
Yeah. Okay. So I really like Lauri Markkanen as like a perfect fit player next to Domas. He stretches the floor. He's 7 foot tall. He can move off the, he can take players off the dribble. Mid-range is great.
Allows Keegan to play the 3.
Yeah, he allows Keegan to play the 3. I think that there's so much positive, but here's the problem. Number one, like it comes back to like the Princess Bride, never get into a land war in Asia, never get into a battle of wits with a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Totally.
Never get into a trade with
Danny
Ainge unless you are 100% ready to make the move.
Yep.
Unless you're like, okay, I don't care what it's going to cost. Go, let's get the deal done.
Lauri Markkanen is the piece that's going to make us a title contender.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to change everything. Right. Well, look, there's a possibility that Lauri Markkanen could change everything in Sacramento. I don't know that that's going to be the case or not.
Mm-hmm.
But he is good enough that you put him next to other players that are really good, you might be able to take some gigantic leap. The problem is, number one, the injuries. Number two, the contract is robust, which means you're going to have to give up multiple players to get him.
Mm-hmm.
And then number three is that you're dealing with Danny Ainge. And if I'm the Kings, if I'm Scott Perry, what I don't want to do is get stuck in this perpetual cycle of doing the exact same thing that Monty McNair did, which is get a trade that's out in public and that is a possibility and is always a possibility, and then it falls through and he goes somewhere else and you end up looking like Monty McNair. And again, that's just the way it worked out. There are too many trades that didn't happen, and that's what Monty is known for. He's not known for so much the Domantas Sabonis trade.
Mm.
And even on the way out the door, I don't even think he's really all that much known for the De'Aaron Fox trade.
Mm.
What he is known is for the trade of Cam Johnson that didn't happen, the Kyle Kuzma trade that didn't happen, the OG Anunoby, the Pascal Siakam. Just keep going down the list. Ben Simmons when he was in Philadelphia. All of these trades that never happened. And so if I'm going to get into a trade here with Danny Ainge, I worry about that. And I don't want to sit here and spin my tires and tie up my assets and make half of my team feel like they're about to get traded when I'm dealing with somebody who typically doesn't take things serious.
I would like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Aside from all that, because you bring up a fair case of why you're not going to try and trade for Lauri Markkanen. Don't have his basketball reference page up. Don't look at it. Okay?
I don't have it up.
Okay, great. How many times has Lauri Markkanen in his 8-year career played more than 65 games?
I think the answer is either 1 or 0.
The answer is 2.
Okay.
He played 68 as a rookie and then 66 when he made the All-Star team in 22-23.
Okay, but the last 2 years, what's he played?
102 games total. 55 and then 47.
But see, here's the problem that I have. Did he play 102 games total because he was hurt, or did he play 102 games total because he plays for a Utah Jazz team that was literally quitting on the season before it started and trying to get Cooper Flagg?
Sure.
So, I mean, that's a tough thing. Like, it's
Okay,
possible.
okay, so let's go before that. 66, 61, 51, 50,
Yeah.
52, 68.
Yeah. It's
This
tough.
is not a last 2 years problem.
Well,
And it's he's 28. Now, he's currently 28.
well, that, and I told you last year, the way he moved, I was like, oh, I don't think I would touch him like at all. Like, oof. Like, he was moving like I move out on a volleyball court,
Oh, man.
which is not
Then
good.
I'm way out.
Yeah, because he had back problems, and you're watching him like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, didn't he play a game in Sacramento where he played like 5 minutes and then had to leave the game? It was
maybe you would know better than
it was
than I
very
would.
short lived. Like, he played, and I was watching him move on the court, and it was like, oh no, that's not good for a 7-footer to have, like, go through that, and all of a sudden he's moving like yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, don't like it. The other name, and there's not anything tying Sacramento to Utah. I just saw Lauri Markkanen is the name we've talked about, so I wanted to drag him back into the conversation. We also touched on this yesterday, but I didn't really wrap my head around it in the moment until I read the thing later.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from a roundtable of NBA executives, and this is the Dunk Central aggregated this. Quote, I think the Cavaliers need to trade Darius Garland. That backcourt is too small with him and Donovan Mitchell. I love the Lonzo Ball trade. If I were Kenny Atkinson, I would start Lonzo, Donovan, and DeAndre Hunter with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen and trade Darius Garland. Sacramento was interested in him before getting Dennis Schroeder from Detroit. Maybe call them up and see if they want Darius Miller for like Malik Monk and salary filler.
Darius Garland.
What did I say?
Miller.
No, not Darius Miller. Darius Garland. I want to go like I want to get away from the Kings of this for a second. I don't understand the front office thinking where you go, man, our backcourt's too small. What we need is Malik Monk. That doesn't track to me. Logically, that doesn't make sense to me.
No, but I think what they are thinking is that Lonzo Ball at 6'6" would slide into the starting lineup, and Malik Monk would be your bench igniter.
Darius Garland can't do that?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're spending $40 million a year on Darius Garland. I'd rather, if you're going to go that route, I'd rather cut back to an $18 million player. Like, it's kind of like the Kings looking at Russell Westbrook versus Malik Monk.
Sure.
It's like, can I get Russell Westbrook for like $15 million less a season?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is yeah, probably. So yeah, that's going to be the problem. I also I've tried a couple of different things. There's no way to work out a Malik Monk for Darius Garland trade, because the problem is that they're over the second apron. So the only trade that Cleveland can do is a negative value, a dollar for dollar or negative value contract. It has to be
putting out more than they're bringing back.
Yeah. So they have to send out more than they're putting in. And the other problem they have is that because of the rules, they can't aggregate his salary with another player. So again, this is just hypothetical because we're talking trades.
Yeah.
If you were to put DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk into a contract, into a package, that's roughly $43 million in contract.
Mm-hmm.
Darius Garland makes 39. They can't do that deal, right? They like Cleveland cannot do that deal because they're over the second apron. Right. They can't take back any extra money. Right. If they were to add a $5 million player, it would work like under standard NBA trade rules, but it will not work in this situation.
Got it.
Because they can't aggregate a salary with Darius Garland. So what the Kings would have to do is they'd have to come up with basically $38 million, $39 million to the dollar or less than what Darius Garland is making. They'd have to come up with that much in contract and make a move that way. And as of right now, they don't have an avenue to do that. So, like, again, Malik Monk, Dario Saric, and Devin Carter doesn't work. It doesn't work as far as the amount of players going out. And it also, not only does it work within the 125% of Darius Garland's salary, which is a rule, it also doesn't work. It would push the Kings over the first apron, which they're hard capped at the first apron. It's complicated. So I don't see a way in which they can actually trade for Darius Garland. without maybe using their mid-level exception, trading that for a different player that goes to Cleveland,
Jesus.
package that player with Devin Carter and Malik Monk, and get to.
Is Darius Garland worth all of that maneuvering?
Maybe, because I do think he's a very good young point guard, and like, look, I think if you had that situation, it would allow you not only to have like someone you can build around who's young, but also it would you still have Dennis Schroeder, and Dennis Schroeder can be there to share duties, but also to, that's, I think, the beauty of Dennis Schroeder is that he has played for like every team in the league, but he's also been a starter and come off the bench. So if you do find a way to upgrade your point guard position at some point, it's okay. Like Dennis Schroeder, like, might not be super happy that he would lose his job or be, pushed to the bench, but at the same time, he's a player that has happened to multiple times throughout his career. He's had starter roles, he's had bench roles. He can play just about anything for you. But that's like way off in the distance, because I don't think Cleveland's going to do anything right now. They're going to wait and see if they're the same great team.
I agree.
And then with the East being wide open, with the Bucks, with the Celtics, with all of these teams, with the Pacers, all being, at a disadvantage due to injury, it's realistically them and the Knicks, like, who's going to come out on top.
Yeah.
At least in most people's eyes coming into the season. That could change during the season, and we could have a Indianapolis Colts situation where some team is just way better than you thought.
Yeah.
But going into the season, you're banking on the 60+ win team that was Cleveland, and you're banking on the Knicks being there, and then anyone else is just kind of like a coin top flip.
Yeah, I was in on the Garland idea during the offseason as like a put him on the map as a potential acquisition.
Yeah,
where you're establishing him as a foundational piece of what you're doing. I think he's that talented. I think he's that good. He also has some injury stuff for sure. He has the toe injury that's going to cause him to miss the first part of this year. He missed a bunch of playoff time last year. In 2023-24, he only played 57 games. In 20 that's the 2021 season. He played 54 of the 71 games.
Yeah.
And then 59 the year before that. But yeah, man, I'm not at this point where the Kings are. I'm not like, yeah, you need to bend over backwards to figure out how to go get Darius Garland. I have too many question marks about him as a player.
Yeah.
If it was a direct swap, Malik Monk, Dario Saric, Devin Carter, and a couple of picks, and that was on the table, then great. But I'm not going out and trading guys to bring in these contracts to make sure that I can try and get Darius Garland, who may not even be available, like you said. It may be one of those things where the Cavs go, yeah, if you want to give us the sun, the moon, and the stars for him, fine.
Yeah.
And I just don't think he's that level player. I think he's good.
Well, I think that's going to be the problem.
I'm out on it because of what you said. I don't think they're interested in dealing him.
Yeah, you're getting a top 15 point guard, but you're not getting a top 10 point guard. You're getting someone who's probably between like 12 and 15. And that's still a really good player. But that, I mean, you're going to have to do a lot of work to get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just don't seem, I don't think the Kings